Live from Hollywood, we are back for another season of Dancing with the Stars. Dancing with the Stars 34 is set to kick off so very soon, Tuesday, September 16th at 8 p.m. ABC. You know where to find it, Disney Plus, all those places. And we have a cast. We already talked a little bit about it over on the Reality Flash, but we're here to break it down even further, to get some drafting going, and to let you know just about everything that we have set up for you this season here on Rob is a Podcast for all things Dancing with the Stars. I am Matt Liguori here with you, alongside Sasha Joseph, who will be here with me every single week. Sasha, how are you?
So good. Listen, we're ready. Dancing shoes are on. Paddles are up. Let's go.
Yes, what a fun first season that we had. A lot of great guests came through, including this man who started the season off. I'm talking about you. Brandon Donlon is here with us today. Dancing with the Stars super fan, of course. Brandon, how's it going?
Oh my God. This is my favorite time of the year. The Dancing with the Stars cast rumor list. Every year since I've been very, very small, I'm on every, forum, whatever. And the medium has changed. It used to be Twitter. I was doing a lot of Reddit the past couple years, but one thing is the same. I love this show so much. It's the only show that I love this much that I haven't been bad at publicly. And I'm so excited to talk about it again here.
Yes.
For season 34.
Can't believe it. Season 34. It feels like season 2 because it's only the second season that we're covering. So that's all that matters. But yeah, the speculation's been going on for a while. We've finally got the names confirmed. The pairs are all confirmed. They're out there practicing out in LA. Well, most of them, maybe not all of them at the moment, but we'll get into that. Again, a week away from the premiere. Sasha, we're going to be here every Tuesday night.
Yeah, listen, come join us. We're going to be hanging out in the chat. Mirror Ballers, you know what to do. Okay, it's our time. Come on.
Yes.
Let's make it happen.
And not only the live shows, but Sasha, we have a brand new podcast feed people need to go find.
Listen, and some of y'all have found it, but if you don't know what it is, RHAP, we know Dancing with the Stars on wherever you get your podcasts. All right. And listen, y'all know that you can't just go and hit subscribe. We need a rating. We need 5 stars only. Don't piss me off. 5 stars only. All right. And we already have our first rating that isn't us.
Yes.
So I just feel like I need to call out Michael Horn. We love Michael. He said 10, 10, 10. 2 of my favorite podcasters and people together talking about one of my favorite shows. There's truly nothing a boy could ask for. Period. Thank you for your 5-star review. Listen, you leave us a review, we're reading it on here. So help us out by the next podcast. Come on, let's get to 10.
That's a great start. 10 would be great. And then we'll keep going from there. We know dancingwiththestars.com will take you directly to the RHAP website where you can find whatever feed you're looking for to find us in. Of course, we're also on YouTube where we will be live after the episodes every Tuesday night. So there's that. And also very important is our brand new Facebook group that we have going. It's facebook.com/groups with an S/RHAP DWTS. We're approaching the 100 member mark in there. A lot of chatter going on here in the preseason. We have a form that we put out there yesterday to ask you all some questions about this cast, and we're going to talk about that here in this podcast today. So join the Facebook group, find the podcast feed, do all the stuff because, Brandon, we have a cast on our hands, and it's looking pretty fun so far. Looking pretty good.
It's a good cast. As somebody who, again, like both of you, I'm here every year. I'm looking at the cast, and sometimes it's not that good. And I would get on here and say, it's all right, but this is good. This is a 14 out of 14 hit rate in that I've heard of all of these people, which is not always the case with this show. So I'm thrilled, and I can't wait to talk about everybody.
Yeah. We have, of course, the same lineup as far as the hosts of the show. Derek Huff. Well, on the judges panel, we have Derek Huff. We have Bruno Tanioli, Carrie Ann Inaba. For those who, don't mind Carrie Ann, I'm sure very happy to have her back. Some may mind, whatever, but that's the judges panel. They'll be back. We also have, of course, our hosts, Alfonso Ribeiro and Julianne Huff, back for another season. So that'll be a lot of fun. Only one change on the pro side of things. We have the return of Mark Ballas, which we will certainly talk about. He's in this season. Sasha Farber is out from the pro panel. Sasha Joseph doesn't seem most upset about that.
No, I mean, listen, I think we talked about this, right? A lot, even the three of us, and then on all our different podcasts last year. Like, I don't have issues with him. I just felt like his choreography was meh, right? Like, I was always like, oh, but you could have just almost pushed a little bit more. And it feels comfortable. I think that's the best way to say it.
A lot of drama, of course, coming out of last season, Brandon. We had the Jen and Sasha of it all. We had the Gleb and Brooks of it all, both of which, I would say those stories haven't completely died down. There was word that maybe Gleb wasn't going to be here, but Sasha's not here. So, we're kind of starting a little fresh with who we have.
There can only be one Sasha.
Yes.
And she's right here. I'm not interested in another one. No, I do think Sasha's great, but I support on this show, like, it's much like the MTV Challenge where you're getting the same people coming back every time. Like, I support anybody taking a break. If you want to sit out for a season, like your Whitneys and your Lindsays have both sat out. Lindsay Arnold for, pregnancy or what have you. Like, whatever your reason for just sitting one out and then coming back, I hundo P support it. And I'm not sure. I mean, it doesn't seem like it was Sasha's choice to sit out this time, but listen, a mandatory sit out could be good. You come back next year and you have, newer, fresher ideas on what you want to do. And then Sasha's not leaving the show. Sasha will be in all of the, transitional dances between.
I don't know about that.
Episodes. Oh, we don't know that?
I don't believe Sasha's on the troop either.
Oh, really?
Yeah, no, I think he's not involved at all this season. I mean, just to touch on that real quick, we have 4 new troop members. They don't usually do this, but they booted everyone from last season. And I say booted lightly, like, I don't know that it was actually like, you all get out. But yeah, 4 new troop members. Haley Bills, who is actually Jenna Johnson's niece. She was on tour with Derek Huff last year. Carter Williams, who is 20 years old from Utah. Apparently he's Rylee's best friend or one of Rylee's best friends. We have Anya Stevenson, who has practiced with Derek before. Jackson Willards, who's 23. They're all from Utah. And he was on World of Dance. So 4 brand new faces here. Nobody from last season, and does not include Sasha.
Interesting. Carter Williams made me... I know another Carter Williams.
Not that one.
I saw him in a grocery store one time. Not this Carter Williams.
So,
but
new faces around the ballroom. Yeah,
I did not know that about Sasha. That's interesting.
I know. That's why I was like looking that up. That's crazy.
I thought that I had, and maybe I'm totally wrong. I thought I had seen him in like TikToks that the folks are making from this season. Maybe he's, I don't know, in the practice facility and then not.
No, I really think that
playing?
Other people have been making TikTok, like, not to say like he's gone. More than I think about him. Like, it's about him, not with him. Does that make sense?
I think he's just really good friends with a lot of them.
Yeah, that too.
I think he hangs out with a lot of them on a regular basis. I definitely see him with Gleb a lot, and whoever else. But just as far as the cast, it does not seem like he is there. And I also saw that there was an article that was like Sasha Farber speaks out about him not being back. I didn't read it, but it doesn't seem like he is here this season. But we have 14 great pros here with us. We'll see. Hopefully Sasha Farber comes back at some point in the future. I know he does have a lot of people that like him. But anyway, we have some news going into this season, Sasha Joseph, that we're going to be celebrating 20 years of Dancing with the Stars. And it sounds like there's some fun stuff coming our way.
I know. And of course, the biggest thing I saw, again, y'all, I love a good conspiracy theory, obviously. So it's giving that maybe Tom might be coming back for a moment of something, because Derek Huff was answering, I think on TikTok, right? Like a bunch of fans were talking about, hey, your scoring needs to be fixed a little, right? Like, no one should get higher than a 7 on the first night, blah, blah, blah. And he's like, yeah, we'll take that into consideration. Makes total sense. But right, like, he's responding. And then someone talked about Tom and he said, we have a lot of surprises in store. So I said, wait a minute, what'd that mean? Why?
Brandon Donlon, reaction to the idea of, after a couple of years away, Tom Bergeron could be back in the ballroom.
We are on the heels of a disaster decision in the production of the television show Big Brother that has happened less than 72 hours from right now. And people forget, despite being so frustrated now, people forget this happens on a lot of shows. And getting rid of Tom Bergeron on Dancing with the Stars was to the caliber of what has happened on Big Brother this past couple.
Remember the
Um,
Tyra like hate too?
I remember, and I reminded myself recently, and I said,
Ooh.
"Oh my goodness! Thank goodness we got here to the coverage of the show after that."
Yeah, she is great hosting. This was not her show. I do think that Alfonso and Julianne do a phenomenal job. I didn't expect to like anybody post Tom, but I always thought that there was a chance that Tom would come back as a contestant on this show.
Ooh.
And I do not see that is happening. But if we get him for a night, I'll take it. Bring back Aaron Andrews. Bring back Samantha Harris. Brooke Burke. Get the whole team in.
Let's do it. Come on. Yeah, there is one of the, I think, executive producers did an interview saying that throughout the season, we'll have treats for fans of the show across the years with the return of fan favorite dancers as guest judges and a special episode to celebrate our 20th birthday. That episode will feature a guest judge people will love to see back in the ballroom and the return of some former champions who, for the first time ever, will be involved in competitive rounds with the current cast. It should be a really memorable night.
Oh, super fun.
That sounds.
I did see that in passing, but that
really
that
cool.
sounds. When you do a 20th anniversary, you got to go big.
Mm-hmm.
You got to have some stuff that evolves the format a little bit, and stuff like that can stay for future seasons. But I mean, we've talked about it here even last year that I have never, and I've loved this show since 2005. I've been here. The amount of people that are, our age, younger, the Gen Zs that are watching Dancing with the Stars for the first time, the people who are learning who Reginald Val Johnson was because of Dancing with the Stars, because they didn't see him their whole life. It's unbelievable. And now I think even just the past week since the cast release, I'm getting served so many Dancing with the Stars TikToks of people who are much younger than me, who are so jazzed. And they're like, one of my first memories is watching Marie Osmond faint on TV. I was like, we were there. Yeah. I saw it. I lived it. So I'm excited to let these young kids, they learn about Tom Bergeron and Brooke Burke, and Lisa Canning, who hosted the first season.
Lisa Rinna is about to be back on television with Rob Sesternino himself and Mark Ballas himself. Like that's a fever dream. I met Lisa Rinna through Dancing with the Stars, as many of the celebrities on the show. So that's the life we're living here. But yeah, of course, a big resurgence, or a big part of the resurgence of this show, I think people really do attribute to the social media of it all. Bringing in some of these younger pros, Ezra and Rylee for sure. And just kind of like giving the show new life with these hosts that have been doing really, fun stuff with it. Unfortunately, of course, we've since lost Len Goodman, head judge, but Derek Huff has filled into the judge role very nicely. And the guest judge spot has been a lot of fun to rotate here and there, besides that one person from last season who I'm not even remembering who that was, but there was one week that was awful, and hopefully we don't deal with that again. But they're saying fun new theme nights and changes to competition rounds that we've never seen before. I love the idea of new themes. And also they're saying the most demanding finale in the show's history. So, they say that every season on like Survivor, but who knows? Maybe they're being honest. So are we ready to start looking at these teams a little bit more in depth?
Let's do it.
Let's do it. Does anybody have a preference as we are going to draft here? Anybody want to go first?
I mean, do you want to go first? If not, I don't mind.
I'll take it if nobody else wants it, but I also I'm open to whatever.
Yeah.
All right.
I'm happy to guess. I will take third. Let me go last.
I can be second. Yeah, I like
great. All right, so I'll pick first. Sasha picks second. Brandon's going to pick third. And we're going to go through the 14 teams that we have here, which, of course, by math means that 2 teams will be left over for the audience. Don't get your hopes too much that you're going to get a win out of one of those teams, but hey, you never know. So with all that said, 14 teams beginning the journey here on Dancing with the Stars. And with the first overall pick, I have the image already up on my screen just in case I was the first pick. I will be taking, how do we get them up? Dylan and Daniela.
Yeah, I knew it. I already highlighted that as red when you were going first.
How can I not? I think a lot of the RHAP audience is probably maybe the most familiar with Dylan Efron, of course. Just came off of his great run on The Traitors, where he won the show. and he's got Daniela as a partner. And Sasha, I don't know how this could go wrong unless Dylan just can't dance.
So that was why I think he is a top like 5 for me, contender wise, and votes as well, right? Especially because of the traders and Zac Efron, right? Like all that stuff. But yeah, I was just a little worried. Like I feel like I've seen other people move. There's a lot of folks that have dancing background this year, which feels like a little interesting. And I love for everyone's thoughts, and we'll obviously get into it when we get to them. But I just feel like this season feels like you kind of need to have it from the start, and let's see if he has it. But I don't think he's like an early boot or anything. I just don't know if he has the votes to win. That's all.
I agree with that sentiment. I am also wondering, like, I can see a world where, and I think he is the most charming guy ever. Listen, it works on me. I'll tell you. I wonder if he's not that good of a dancer. I don't want to even put that in the universe. Like Joey Grazadeh last year shocked me with how immediately good that he was. And I think the same can be said for Dylan. I could see a situation where he just starts and he's unstoppable the whole time. But I do wonder, like, more than the other like ringers, as you know, the TikTok and Dancing with the Stars community refers to them. Like, I don't think he's that. But I can also see him being like, okay, and then getting a generous 5th or 4th place. Or the alternative is he is even a little bit good from the start, and then he steamrolls the entire thing, which I think is also likely.
Yeah.
Yeah, by no means am I picking him first thinking he will be the best dancer here. I think there are a handful of picks that will be that. Of course, when you're looking at Dancing with the Stars and who's a likely winner, in a fan base is important. Somebody that the audience will fall in love with, even if they don't know this person, is important. His popularity is, hard to say not at an all-time high right now, considering his popularity kind of began this year. He has been on some stuff with his brother before. Of course, did you know his brother is Zac Efron? If you haven't heard it 1,000 times every time he gets interviewed. So, he's been on some stuff here and there, but he's here now in the ballroom. It's funny because, while the trader season was happening, we had Phaedra last season. It was like, okay, if they're going to pick somebody from this season of the traders to come on, feels like it definitely could be Dylan Efron. And then people started to say, Dylan and Boston Rob are actually trying to make their own show. Like they're actually going to produce something, and because the bond that they had there was so strong. And actually, neither one of them want to do Dancing with the Stars, even though they're super popular right now. I guess that didn't happen because he's here. So we're locked in for Dylan.
He's here, and I think I have I just there's something I love about these shows is just like Dylan got like the bug, if you will, of competing a year ago, and then I think was ready to launch himself into another competition. I would have guessed that like if he wanted to, make a Survivor run, or if he wanted to do something else, he could have done that. And I'm very curious to this is the next challenge that he picked, and I think that he wouldn't be signing on for this if he didn't think he could win it. So I really like the coming from the reality TV background, especially so fresh, and like he's only ever won, so it would suck to sign on for something and not think you can win again. So I imagine he wouldn't do that if he didn't think he could.
Yeah, he's a determined guy. I think he'll definitely put his all into it. I think that's half the battle for these pros, to get a celebrity that wants to be there and wants to do well. And Dylan does seem like that. And Sasha, just having Daniela as a partner, she is a champion. She, I think we talked about this on the preview with Mike, has the number 1 highest average placement of anybody on this cast. She does well every time, even when she has the one season that she didn't do incredibly, still did fine.
Yeah, exactly. That's why I still think he's a top 5. If he is a person that's able to kind of make, like all of us just go, oh my gosh, he can dance. As a man, I think he's going far. Right? He's you asked this question in the Facebook group or on the forum, right? Who is Carrie-Anne Inaba gonna hate? But I think he becomes the the princess where everyone is obsessed with him. They're like, oh my gosh, what can't he do? He's perfect. So then I think that's the treatment he gets, and he ends up going, like I said, far. But it's so dependent on how good of a dancer he is.
Yeah. It'll be definitely some fun for all of us that, again, know him from his stint on our reality TV turf. And, he's still on our reality TV turf because we talk about Dancing with the Stars around here, too. So Dylan and Daniela, first off the board by me. Sasha, that means you're up with the second pick here.
Yes, and you know, this is I'm trying to win, not like my best friend's pick. I just want to make that clear. Yeah. So I'm gonna have to pick Mark Ballas and his, partner.
All right.
Yeah.
Said with disdain, said with not a lot of thrill behind the pick here.
Yeah, I mean, listen, like Mark Ballas is not coming back for some nonsense, right? Like he's not coming back. Then Whitney majored in dance in college. Okay, yes. She has a modern dance degree. Then she even did it. So she's been dancing since high school at least from my research and again, she's been competitively moving for a long time. And of course, now before they got their Secret Lives of Mormon Wives show, which is where we know Whitney from. Whitney is the like villain, quote unquote, from that show. But the reason all these that group of women went viral is because like of this thing called Mom Talk, where there are Mormons from Utah that do TikTok and are a little bit like scandalous, are a little bit out there, and they still like are true to their faith. Like that's I think the interesting hook for why folks really enjoy them. Whitney definitely came off season 1, yeah, more than season 2, I'd say, as the villain. I don't know, something about like it's just not vibing for me, but like I don't care. She's a good dancer. All their TikToks have been out like so high, like outrageous. Mark's gonna have so much fun. I just feel like Mark's gonna get a lot of votes. I don't know if Whitney will get a lot of votes. I'll say that.
Yeah. Brandon, I mean, we shouldn't just not talk about Whitney, but we do have to just start, Dancing with the Stars podcast, Dancing with the Stars fans, that Mark Ballas is back.
Mark Ballas is back. Took a year off, but and Sasha's exactly right. Is he's not coming back for nothing. And like,
right.
I think that there was an idea that Charlie would have been his last partner, and you go out on the win. So to be back here again, it's like Dylan. It's like you don't. Why sign up if you don't think you're going to win? I did not know that Whitney had majored in dance, but I did see their TikToks, and she's great.
Mm-hmm.
Like she can move like great. So I'm super excited to see her. And for like, there are, I'm sure, many viewers of Dancing with the Stars like myself who don't know her lore. I don't know who this person is. I don't know who Jen Affleck is. I'm excited to learn. I mean, I didn't know who Joey Grosade was. I follow him on Instagram still. Love him. I part of this for me is learning about new people. And I had heard of her, and I have heard of Jen, and I've seen the TikToks and what have you. I know of them as the pop culture figures,
yes,
but I don't know them specifically. I'm so intrigued, and maybe we'll talk about Jen at some point if somebody picks Jen, but I'm so interested in why there are two from the same franchise, which doesn't happen often.
And why these two, which has been my biggest gripe as well. Like, again, Whitney was the villain, the standout villain, right? Just like Brandon, maybe if y'all know about her from pop culture, she did go like infamously viral because she did a dance while her kid had RSV in the hospital. So like the kid was laying there and she was like doing TikTok dances. So if you remember that video, that's Whitney.
That's Whitney.
Oh, wow. I didn't know that.
Yeah.
Wow.
I'm here. I'm here,
Sasha,
baby.
Do you happen to remember when they did the reveal on the reunion? Was it Jen that they announced first or Whitney?
They announced Jen first, which is why people were like, what the what's happening? Because
Nick Viall did a whole fake out where he said, the one of you that is announced for Dancing with the Stars season 34 is Jen. And then everyone else was like, yay, congratulations. And then like a minute later he goes, and Whitney, you're going too. And she was over the moon.
Yeah. And like I said, Whitney was just a little bit vanilla on the show, but is great online. So which I think will work in this situation. I'm just saying in general for reality show, I don't know that it works. But yeah, it's very interesting. She has drama with her husband. Well, season 1 drama with her husband. It's like fixed. So it is what it is. But yeah, I think it should have been Taylor, Frankie Paul, who is the big swinging scandal, which is why they're all famous. versus Whitney because that's how it had been set up for us on the show as well.
Yeah.
Who is the Big Brother equivalent to a Whitney and a Jen,
Oh
like
my
in the Big Brother world? Like if this woman Taylor you just mentioned, if she's like I don't want to assign a person to her, but if she's like the big person,
Yeah,
who are the
Taylor's like,
equivalents?
I don't want to disrespect. Taylor's like, yeah, Taylor's someone
mean,
big.
Yeah, if you're like really
why
trying
we
to make it
tune
from one
in.
scale to the other, like Taylor has to be like the Dan or Will, like the biggest name
Yeah.
from the franchise.
Like she made the show, right? Like because of that swinging scandal.
Yes.
So that's Taylor. But Whitney would be like a Janelle.
Okay.
But a
Which is
Janelle on
still
All Stars. Does that make sense? Also
yeah,
for the
yes.
second time.
Sure.
Where she's good. Like, there's definitely people have seen growth on her. But like, still controversial.
Is Jen Affleck Brittany Haynes?
Oh no. I'm having a hard time with Jen Affleck because I don't like her storyline. And please comments, like definitely let me know like what y'all think. But for Jen Affleck, I really feel like her whole thing was that, hey, my husband is like an insecure loser. And I'm paying for our life. And we're technically related to Ben Affleck. Turns out they're not.
They're not.
Came out in season 2. And
Yeah.
and like she pays for everything. And their whole thing from season 1 was that he was like mad she went to a Chippendale show. Meanwhile, he was gambling.
Secret
on their
Lives of Mormon Wives, quite the show. Definitely, it's quick, 2 quick seasons. If you wanted to try to,
Yeah.
get a little bit of it in,
Jen
I don't
is
think
hard. Yeah.
I don't think either of these 2 women are going to be going super early. Likely, I mean, Sasha picked, Whitney and Mark here as a winner pick, essentially, first pick in the draft. So definitely time to check it out. And it's not that long. I guess I have a little bit of concern that they could split votes, just like Jen and Joey did last season. But whoever's the surviving one of those 2, which I do feel like will end up being Whitney, could be poised for a deep run. And it's Mark Ballas. If you're new to Dancing with the Stars, Mark Ballas is one of the basically OG pros, the most OG pro in this cast. He has won 3 times, very high average placement as well. With all of the seasons that he's competed in, he is the 3rd highest on this cast. Second, if you don't count Rylee and her only couple of seasons so far. He's made it to 10 finales of the 20 seasons he's been on. This man doesn't come on the show, like Sasha said, to just be an early boot. So this pair is going to be around for a bit. Obviously it makes sense why he was picked or why they were picked so early. So we'll see what they can do. But Brandon, over to you.
Over to me. Now, I didn't think I was going to get my pick, and I'm thrilled about it.
Ooh.
I think, thinking as this is the 20-year anniversary, we're going to be showing clip shows of the best moments of the show, famous faces of the show, of alumni. And we, in this season, have the sibling of somebody who won the show in season 21 with Bindi Irwin. I see a world where, much like Dylan Efron, if Robert is above average at dancing, it's not going to be close. I think Robert and Whitney, they march to the end. And I would pick them to win if I had to pick right now. And I'm so excited. People have been clamoring for Robert to do the show as long as he's been like, I wouldn't even say legally old enough because, we've had 14, 15, 16-year-olds participate in this. But people have been clamoring for him to do this for a minute. I didn't think that he ever would. I almost felt like he transcended a point in what he's doing that he wouldn't want to do something like this. But I think that I saw an interview with him recently within the past week talking about how important this show was to his sister and to his family. And even, this is post his father passing, Steve Irwin, and this show did a lot of good for them. So it's like him getting to experience what Bindi experienced there. And if they play a backstory package with that in it, and he's good, he's gonna win. He's gonna win in a big way. So I'm putting him as my official winner pick.
Brandon,
in the draft.
What did you make of them? I think Robert was the first one kicking off the announcement of who was going to be on the show much earlier than we ever usually get. To me, I was like, are they doing this just to make sure he can't back out? Like, hey, the whole world knows you're going to be there.
It was so interesting because every time that I've ever heard of or I've seen an early announcement, my first thought is, oh, they're practicing already. But Robert got
Right.
announced, I think, in June. Like it
been a
was
while.
it was crazy early. So maybe, I mean, not I haven't considered that, but maybe it is like you're signing up.
You're here.
You're not leaving. You are showing up at that ballroom.
Yeah.
But I am excited to see. I mean, if he's had this whole time, granted, he hasn't had a partner. But maybe he was doing some classes in June and July. You know, maybe this is just something that, like, Bindi just had it. You know, Bindi was obviously a great dancer, and Derek was a great teacher, her partner. But I am excited to see how Robert does. And Whitney, I love Whitney. I'm so excited for her again. I think, again, you have this synergy of like Alfonso, the host of the show, wins with Whitney. That's going to be in backstory packages also. I think narratively, it makes sense for Bindi's brother to do well at this. And I think that, listen, if you think America's going to fall in love with Dylan Efron, they're going to love this kid's got animals.
That's the big thing.
Yeah, this kid's he's got muskrats and shit. I don't know what he has, but he's got a snake here, which I'm not as into. But
yeah, they don't have the mirror ball in their pictures. They just have the snake, which, why not?
Huge snake.
Bindi did the same photo as well, I believe. The same, like with this yellow snake. So.
I do wonder if it's the same snake. It's a non-zero chance it's the same snake.
Funny
I don't know how long they live.
I gotta say, I don't follow the Irwin family as close, so I wasn't super aware of like the push to get Robert Irwin on the show. And then when I was like, oh, so Bindi's brother is here, and then I was like, wait, he's 21. Oh my god, they've really been pushing, since before he was probably legally able to come compete. But Sasha, what do you make of this casting in this pair?
Yeah, love it. This was I was choosing between Whitney and Robert, and this is the person that I think has the most universal like celebrity, right? Just because of his name, who he is. And I don't even think it's just because of his sister, right? For us millennials, that's Steve Irwin's kid, right? This is like our little brother. That's his, that's the role he's fulfilling. So I think his votes are going to be out of control. I just wasn't sure about his dancing ability, which is why I didn't pick him. That's the only reason. Otherwise, I agree that like this is a huge winner pick online. This is a lot of people's winner pick. So it just, and we've seen what Whitney can do, right? Like even last season with Danny, she was able to make moves, make a lot of things happen. So I also feel that he was announced early because of how big his star power is. And folks were like, oh my gosh, I can't believe it. It's finally happening. He's in. And I think if he's been practicing since then, it's a huge leg up.
Yeah. No, this is going to be a pair to watch throughout the season. They don't give Robert, this big name to Whitney for no reason. Whitney, of course, a very seasoned pro, 14 seasons she's done now. It is crazy that she only has that one win to her name, but she's made it to 6 finales, doesn't go home early very often. I was reminded that she went out, I think first only one time with Chris Kattan. So, everybody takes their turns with the not great celebrities, but no, especially after Whitney, it was like unlikely Whitney and Danny were going to win last season, but she was still doing, like you said, Sasha, some really fun, really cool stuff with the choreography. And now it's like, okay, well, this is a partner where the appeal to the audience may be even more than Danny. Danny was like, oh yeah, he's really hot, but and he can kind of dance, but now it's Robert who is going to be the world's sweetheart. And it feels like this is just a perfect duo. So definitely understand the pick here and feel like we will be talking about them a couple of months from now when we are getting closer to the finale as a contender to win it all. Unless he can't dance. But have we seen the TikToks of them just yet? I don't know how
That's
active
what I'm
they've
saying.
been.
I didn't. Yeah, that was another reason why I was
haven't seen a ton.
What's going on?
I have not seen a ton either. I don't want to spoil my next. I've thought about that in my next pick.
Luckily, you're up for your next pick. So.
Like,
Number 4. So there, I will leave one out, but I'm deciding between 2 people who I have seen TikToks of who I think are great dancers. However, I'm going to pick who I'm not sure how I feel, but I feel good about this pick because I don't know who she is, but everybody else seems to know who she is. But she's a great dancer because I've seen videos of it. Give me Alix Earle with Val.
Oh, that's a good one.
Alix and Val. Alix Earle and Val Schmerkovsky.
I like
it. Of Gotta Get Out fame. I just love that.
Sure.
I love that's happened since we last saw him.
I am familiar with her name, like again in pop culture. Like I know that I have seen people like buy clothes on TikTok that she has worn. So I know that she is for I guess, her audience, which is, I think we're probably the same age, our age and younger, she sticks out. However, like I'm leaning on how many Gen Zs and younger are watching this show, and they are like your Charlie D'Amelio, like your Bethany Moda of season 18, of like, you grab the person who's younger. Bethany doesn't end up winning. She gets 4th place, I believe. But you grab somebody who appeals to the younger generation, and they're all watching, like, this is their representative. And they all, like, everybody knows who she is. So I am thrilled to see how they do. And Val, historically great teacher, wins with Jock T a couple years ago. And I am thrilled to see how they end up doing.
Yeah, I am someone who doesn't know Alix Earle. Oh, I didn't, I guess, until she was announced for the show. And then I said, let me follow, see what's going on. And all I really picked up on in that time is this is an Instagram influencer. And that's obviously not to put her or that job down. Many people do that for work. But I don't know. I guess it's not specifically content that I am like, searching out myself. But I was actually talking to RHAP's own great podcaster, Ali Lasher, yesterday about the cast. And she was talking about being excited for Alix. Apparently there's just, I guess, a little bit more to her and her story that maybe we'll get to explore on the show, that it's not just, the pretty picture that we see on Instagram and, this lush life that I think a lot of influencers sometimes will, just portray, that Alix has, I guess, been open about some struggles that she's gone through in her life, getting her to this point in life and whatnot. So, of course, Dancing with the Stars, a reality show, first and foremost, and a good partner, which of course Val is, can do a lot to take, what story you bring to them and to the show and find a way to make you passionate about the dances you're going to do, because they're going to relate to something that they want you to connect with. So feels like that's kind of what we're going to get here. Val, always a fan favorite, the second most tenured person here, only because Mark came back, 20 seasons under his belt, 3 wins, a very, very accomplished pro. Last season he had Phaedra, who was fun and we were enjoying, but probably not the best dancer. And it feels like, as Brandon was alluding to, Alix could be pretty good. It looks like she's got some moves. They're showing off on TikTok so far. So feels like definitely a candidate to go far, Sasha.
Yes. And the biggest thing I will say is that Alix has this thing called the Alix Earle effect, where everything she endorses gets sold out immediately, basically. And she's also a podcast host and it's called Hot Mess podcast. I gave like a little bit more information on like the Alix Earle and the Alex Cooper, aka Call Her Daddy, drama. And we covered it extensively on Mess Magnets as well. So and that just happened as well, where her podcast kind of separated from the Call Her Daddy network, which is the Unwell, right? Yeah, Unwell network, because they used to host a pod. They don't anymore, blah, 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 because they had a falling out. So what's also interesting is that her podcast unseated the Joe Rogan Experience on Spotify.
Wow.
Really?
Yeah. So that's why I just feel like people are maybe underestimating her like support and her online community. And she took dance lessons as a child as well. So another person with dancing background. So this, I think, is definitely, again, I don't know that it's going to maybe be one of the other, like the bigger fandoms, but I think that the Alix Earle effect might come in. And let's see. Like I don't know that it's a winner, but I think it's far for sure.
I think I saw that she was on like a Forbes 30 under 30 for social media influencers. So, certainly is a rising star, if not, already at the top of her game, getting there, but it seems like she's already there. I mean, there's always room to grow, but definitely somebody who has a lot of support. And if she can dance too, then, all you really need to make sure is that the story and the personality is connecting with the audience. I just don't know her well enough to say for sure that it will. But, by no means am I surprised to see her be a top 4 pick here. So Alix and Val off the board. That's Brandon's 2 first picks done. Sasha's about to make her second pick.
Yes.
Where are we going?
I'm also between 2 people, and I'm trying to figure out, which ones you'd go for, but it is what it is. I'm trying to play the game a little bit, but I think I'll go with this pick. Yeah, I think it'd be interesting. And I think I'm gonna go. Oh my god, I might change it. That's why I'm
Ooh.
yapping so much. No, it's okay. I think I'm gonna go with Jordan and Ezra.
Ah, that was who I wanted.
Yeah, that's why I was like, who would Matt pick?
So
For
rude.
sure. So so I just think that this is like such a fun pair. People keep naming Jordan as like the person they're most afraid of, right? Like, oh, they're gonna do the best. Like the cast has been talking about Jordan. A gymnast, obviously, like gymnasts have made it far, like we know that. So I'm excited. And then Ezra, I think people want Ezra to do well after last year. They're like, Ezra deserves someone really good. I don't know ringer status yet, right? But still, like he deserves someone to like get it all, blah blah blah. So that's why, and he's great on social media. So I feel like he can rile up the votes for Jordan. So
Yes,
I'm excited.
definitely. Again, one of the more popular new pros. He has
Mhm.
been building his, building his permanent spot on the show by being
Yeah,
so much fun online. I will say, granted, I don't know that he's for everyone. I feel like every other day I'm reading
fair.
like a Reddit post about like, is Ezra too much? Is Ezra too this? Is Ezra too that? Meanwhile, it's like again, part of the reason that Dancing with the Stars is doing so much on social media is because they have Ezra and Rylee that are just absolutely killing it. So I'm so glad that Ezra has a partner who will for sure not be the first one out this time around. Anna Delvey unfollowed him. I don't know if you guys saw this.
I
Uh,
did see this.
Apparently, and this is, mind you, after, so Anna Delvey, Ezra's partner last season, they go out first. They ask Anna, so what did you get from this experience? She says nothing. She had a miserable time, but Ezra, that was his first season as a pro. He was so happy. He gets the word nothing tattooed, I think, over one of his shoulders.
Yeah.
So that meant a lot to him. It was a big moment in his life. And they've even maintained a relationship, a friendship after the season. But as this cast was announced, he must have been posting about like, or people have been tagging him and stuff saying, so glad you actually have a chance this time around.
No,
And I guess
he's
that
been posting it, which
has he
I
said
think is
that?
shady. Yes, he said, "Oh my god, me reacting to a partner that'll finally get me far."
Well, well. So that didn't go over well with Anna Delvey, but not much does.
Mhm.
Brandon, Jordan and Ezra, definitely, I think, a contender.
Yeah, I think that the Ezra thing is interesting. I mean, I think about like a Survivor or Big Brother like early boot who then like is fun on social media. I'm not talking about me. Don't look at me. But is early boot who is then fun on social media and then because of the nature of the show has the immediate chance to be brought back. But I do agree. I see the same Reddit threads, and I think I get a kick out of Ezra. I think a lot of the success that the show is having, the second life on TikTok, is because exactly what Matt you just said of Rylee and Ezra. But you don't want to fly too close to the sun and like not, you either die a hero or live long enough to see yourself become the villain. I don't want to see that for him. But I think that he just has like he's been on the bench for longer than any of these other pros have because he was out so early. So I'm excited to see that energy translate from like tweeting or TikToking to then being back in it. And then he is gifted with a great partner. Simone Biles does great on the show. You have Lori Hernandez who wins the show. Like the gymnasts do super, super well. So Jordan is set up for success. Hundo P.
Yes, she seems very successful. I'm not familiar with any of the athletes that ever come on this show, but just from looking through, she seems like she's had a very successful Olympic career so far. Specifically, it seems like when she in 2020, she stepped in for Simone Biles in the finals and helped them
Mhm.
win a silver medal. Is like one of the big claims to fame there. That she's a big advocate or activist in the mental health space, body positivity. Just in my brief research is things that I was finding there. So definitely seems like they are already having fun. The TikToks, the vibes are high. They're moving around a lot. I'm definitely getting some fun dances from these two. The only thing I guess that maybe is the bigger question mark here, it might be Ezra as the question mark for me over
Yeah.
Jordan, because we haven't seen a full season out of him yet. We have another new pro that we'll get to shortly, but Ezra is only in his second season. In his first season, he was here for a week. So I want to see what he can do and what he can bring to give Jordan as far as an entire season's worth of choreography, all the different theme nights and styles of dance and whatnot. So I'm very interested, but if things go well, they could be a lot of fun and a strong contender. So
Yeah, I hope that him being on the troupe for so long is, has given him enough to do a lot of the choreography, because I think him and his sister, right, we're doing
Yes.
dances, together. So I'm just gonna assume that they both choreographed that. So
yeah.
fingers
All
crossed.
right. Well, Jordan and Ezra are off the table, which means Sasha did take the pick that I wanted. But I'm up for 2 picks. And right, 2 picks? No.
Mhm.
Picks?
Yes.
Yes.
I forget how drafts work sometimes. And I know exactly where I'm going for my first pick. So let's get them up on the screen. Rylee Arnold with her partner Scott Hoying.
Yeah, I like it. Yeah.
Went much lower than I thought they would in this draft.
Ooh, okay. I see what you mean.
Is that you saying they would have been your next pick if you had 3 picks in a row?
They would have been my next pick. I was debating between Scott and Alix for that last
That's
pick.
fair. That's fair.
Yeah, I want to hear your reasoning, but I think they're going to do phenomenal.
I mean, it's hard to not start with the idea of like Dancing with the Stars and who's popular as a pro. Rylee is a hugely popular name right now. She's very young. She's still, I think, 20 years old because she started when she was 18 as a pro, jumping right into it. Well, of course, starting on the juniors version of the show. And now she's here as a pro. But she's insanely popular. And I don't know. I don't know much about the Pentatonix fan base in the year 2025, but they just look like they're already having fun. Someone on TikTok called them Sharpay and Ryan, and now I can't unsee it. And I'm excited. I think they have a lot of potential.
Yeah, I agree. Again, this one is for sure a pick on my list as well, just because I think again that like nostalgia factor with Scott and Pentatonix, and if he. I know that he's not a horrible dancer, right? Like we've seen him move.
Great.
Yeah, and his wedding dance, right, was so good. So we know that he's a good dancer. And Rylee's a great choreographer. So this is a great pick. I just was scared that other fandoms were bigger. That's the only reason. Otherwise, again, a guy that can dance well just jumps a lot of women, I feel. So this is a great pick.
Yeah, his experience leading into this with other competition shows, he's one of the few people here who's done stuff before. The Pentatonix, they won the Sing Off, the a cappella show that was on NBC in 2010, which kind of I didn't watch that show, but I knew them from YouTube, which is I think how most people learned about Pentatonix. And then they just did the Masked Singer 2 or 3 years ago, which was the funniest thing in the world. It's 5 people singing a cappella, and the judges have to pretend for 10 weeks they don't know that it's Pentatonix. It's like the only group that it could be. They're like, oh, I'm stumped. I don't know who it is. But I do think even like with the Dylan, like the bug, like I think Scott, I know Scott has posted for years he's wanted to do this. There's a couple other people on this cast who have done similar. And I know that Dina Katz, who cast the show, has said in interviews before that she has avoided that in the past, but I wonder if there's been a change of heart of like, oh, the people who want to do it and will dedicate themselves to it, especially when you have an Anna Delvey who you cast and invest in, and then they not only are not giving it their all, but then are very adamantly like, I didn't like being here. So why waste your resources on Anna Delvey when you could, have people who really are passionate about the show, and Scott is that. And they're making TikToks already, and he can move great. Yeah. He's really, really good. By far the best dancer I think I've seen just in the previews that have been on TikTok. So I am curious to see how they do. I hear the critique of maybe the Pentatonix fan base is not, but listen, I think they're dedicated. I think they may wrangle behind their guy. So I'm curious to see how it goes.
Yeah, Sasha, you mentioned the wedding video. If anybody out there hasn't seen it, we're going to bring it up a million times because I've seen it now a million times. That Scott recently got married. I think it was sometime last year. And he did a surprise dance for his husband at the wedding. He was alongside the duo Costin Mayer, if you've seen them on TikTok, who are also like very popular, very viral going dancers. And it was just like a really, really fun and cool moment that he had at his wedding. And so that that by no means is his only dance experience. You can tell from that video that he's got some experience moving around. So this is going to be a very fun pair. So Team Pink there again, Ryan and Sharpay. That's all I can see now. Is going to be my second pick. And where the heck is my third pick? There they are. Who do you guys think it's? Well, actually, no, you shouldn't say that because then you're going to spoil. But anyway, my next pick, my next pick is going to be Baron and Britt.
Okay.
Wow. Okay. I'm in.
You know what? I see your vision. Yeah.
I love the vision. I have been so excited for this pair from the beginning. There was a lot, Brandon, we were obviously like peeking around all the message boards and whatnot in the beginning of the preseason. Everyone's like, oh, Britt and Dylan are going to be together. Apparently Britt wants Dylan. I don't know anything about that. I have no idea where she said that, whatever. So people were disappointed to see that she did not have Dylan Efron as a partner. But this guy seems like a lot of fun. Baron Davis, a former NBA player. I said this on the podcast, with Sasha and Mike the other day, that I feel like more often than not, when they find these athletes, they are usually someone who either can dance really well, they just don't know it yet, or they have a really good personality. And I feel like Baron is going to be a mix of both. So Brandon, I'm pumped.
Bart Oatmeal.
I need more information on that, but I've heard.
Yes, Bart Oatmeal. Also, sorry, Brandon, to cut you off, is his stage name when he raps. So
yes. Incredible.
I did not know about Bart Oatmeal, and I'm so thrilled to learn about it.
His alter ego.
I just listened to maybe 15 minutes of a podcast that he was on, just because, again, he's one of the folks. I think I started this podcast and I said I've heard of everybody. I don't know a lot of the lore, but I had heard Baron Davis' name before, so I just searched his name on YouTube and I'm watching 15 minutes of a podcast. He's so charming. This guy is. People are gonna love. I mean, I'm about to buy his jersey. I don't know. I've never seen this guy before in my life. And Britt is great. And I think that, I'm sure Britt saw, with not only in conjunction with Daniel Durant, her now husband, who she was partners with a couple years ago, they just got married, and the feedback from all over the internet and all the Dancing with the Stars circles was so overwhelmingly happy for them. And then also the outrage when it is learned online that Britt did not get Dylan, who everybody had been platonically Dancing with the Stars version of shipping them together. I think that Baron is Britt is in a better spot than you could ever be for going into this. And I really hope that Baron's really good. And I hope they hang in for a minute because he's really charming. He's a charming where even if he's not that good, the charm can make up for being not that good. I don't know if it equates to a win, but I do think it equates to a deeper run than if he was not charming.
I think a lot of dancing fans are really wanting to see Britt do well after some seasons of not doing so well. She's this is her 6th year as a pro. She doesn't historically do very well. She's the 11th overall on this cast in average placement, hasn't won, hasn't even made it to a finale, and has gone out either first or second 3 times of those 5 seasons she's been on. But everyone thinks that she's incredible because she is. Like you mentioned, the wedding was beautiful, and I couldn't have been that was my royal wedding, Britt and Daniel's wedding. She is just a joy. She's a big part of the Dancing with the Stars tour. Backstory on if anybody is confused as why were Britt and Dylan being shipped as partners so much. Britt was in High School Musical. She was one of the dancers in a lot of at least High School Musical 1. I'm not sure about the 2nd and 3rd. But so the connection of Britt was in one of Zach's projects, having her paired with Dylan would be great. But I still think that this partnership is so fun. At GMA, they of course had to have him holding a basketball, so you knew who he was. I was dying at that. But they just seem like they're going to be a great team, and I'm all in. And Sasha, I really need to look up some of this additional content.
Yes. Also, Baron Davis is a really big, pretty great point guard, has been on iconic teams as well. So it when I told my husband, oh my God, Baron Davis is going to be on Dancing with the Stars? He's like, what the hell? I haven't thought about him in so long, but that's so funny. So I think this is very much again, I don't know, I keep saying that, but very much a nostalgia, oh, this is going to bring people, could bring people to Dancing with the Stars.
Did you guys see the outfit he was wearing at GMA? The jeans and what looked like a Dalton Academy Warblers blazer.
Really good.
Yeah.
Really good.
I love
Dance to Misery, Baron Davis. You won't.
Yes.
I know you won't.
He's on top of all aspects of this competition. He's
Oh
got me paying
man.
attention. Back to Sasha for another pick.
Yes, I'm so glad my pick is still open. Again, this is like a heart pick, I will say, more than anything, but I have to pick my girl Lauren and Brandon.
All right. Am I saying her last name right? Haregi, I think.
You see, don't yeah.
Yes.
Yep.
So yeah, Fifth Harmony member who found out she was coming on the show, but
Mhm.
48 hours prior to showing up on Good Morning America.
We
Also, sorry to
finally have a
Brandon.
picture.
We have
Woohoo.
a picture. Sorry to Brandon, who the comment section of this picture said, please nobody look at my face in this picture.
I know
But
they like yassified his face. Okay.
Brandon Armstrong, Fifth Harmony's Lauren here. Brandon Donlon, what do you think of Brandon Armstrong and his new partner?
I do want to note that my sister's name is Lauren, so I hope they
Oh,
don't go
that's
far. 'Cause
very funny.
I don't want to keep hearing Brandon and Lauren. in the
No,
conversation. I'm gonna
how
like
dare
look over
you?
like you're talking to us. No, I love Fifth Harmony. I'm a big Fifth Harmony fan. I love Lauren. I love Lauren's solo stuff. So I'm so thrilled that she's here. I'm not doing a bit. So you think I'm doing a bit?
No. I just like giggle every time I think of Fifth Harmony dancing. I
Yeah.
have a clip for everyone, so we
Do
will
the
share
work
at
from
the
home
end.
dance. I'm into it. I hope they bring it to the stage. But I love Brandon also. I've always rooted for him. And I think he has a similar space to Britt where he's gone far, much more than
Mhm.
Britt has, but he still hasn't clenched a win. So I'm excited to see them go far.
Which
And
he
Lauren can
should have
dance.
won. Sorry, but he should have won. Don't piss me off, everyone. Okay, Chandler and Brandon were robbed. Okay, we move.
Yeah, that was a very It was so I vividly remember my girlfriend and we've been living in this apartment for a week when that finale came on, and we were so excited. And then Twitter was it was a very funny. You don't get that a lot with this show. You
Yes.
survive the Bobby Bones night, and you're like, oh, this is the worst I've ever seen. But then it gets worse. I really enjoy this as a twosome. You have Normani, who does this show and gets third place. You have Allie Brooke, who I believe also gets third place.
Yeah.
So it's looking good for a placement. I don't know if it's first, but it's looking pretty. It looks like bronze is happening, which is pretty lit.
Yeah.
But I hope they can be the first to break the chain.
I know.
go
I
further.
just think it just would be so funny if they go far, or even if they get third. I like it's just again the whole Fifth Harmony lore is so funny. Another person, right, that is used to being on a show, a competition show, a creative competition show, because they were on the X Factor and got together. I must say, the funniest part is that Fifth Harmony is known for being quote unquote real, right? In their dancing more than they are choreographed together. Ness. And that's why I love them. I think they're very funny. They just reunited. So what's going on there?
Right. I thought they were gonna like do something together. Like I thought it was like, oh, they're back together. But apparently
they've
this is just
been
the Jonas Brothers are
a
like,
one time.
yeah, they're bringing people together. They had 5 seconds of summer out at their recent
Yes.
show. So they just were like, hey, Fourth Harmony, you guys free and you want to come, be on the show for a night. And then they flew Lauren out to Good Morning America to be a part of this cast. And so they didn't have any cast photos until recently. They've only gotten into the rehearsals recently, but again, they may be ahead of some other teams who we have still not yet gotten to. But yeah. I'm excited to see what they can do. I feel like Brandon, of course, like Brandon Donlon said, is due for a win at some point, and why not here? He's been on 7 seasons already. He has not gotten a win. He's made it to one finale, which we just saw last season with Chandler. So we know that he is able to be a very good partner, put together some good routines. And Lauren, as a performer with tons of experience over the past decade plus, why not? So.
Can I just I shared, in our backstage in a video, it's a 10-second video of Fifth Harmony. If folks are like, what the heck are you talking about? Like Fifth Harmony choreography, like this is quintessential Fifth Harmony. So I don't know if you can bring it up.
Oh,
Matt.
I was like, I don't know if I know how to do this, but I got it.
Yeah, perfect. And it's a 10-second clip, but I promise you it is the funniest shit you're gonna see today. Okay.
If you wanna play around and you'll hear us, get all the crazy shit that we do. Do you wanna post a pic from no filter? Hashtag our butt. If you wanna play around and
And this is like
Yeah.
they are never together. It's literally like you're clicking on each emoji.
Yes.
And they're like,
you have to
they're
click them all
emoting.
one by one and
Yep.
then hope that they line up somehow.
Exactly. I just think it's the funniest thing. I had to share with everyone, and this is why like folks kind of like really love them, because what the hell are they doing? Just vibing out. So I think that's why they work really well solo, because they're pretty good dancers. It's just together the puzzle is very funny.
Yes. So, I mean, I feel like it's wild to have, a member of a group so as popular as Fifth Harmony with a representative here and have them picked eighth. But I really do think that just speaks to the fact that any of these top eight I could see in the finale and really winning. So, and maybe even more picks that are to come, which leads us to Brandon and your next pick.
Yeah, I think a lot of the winner contenders are on the board.
Mhm.
I'm wondering who's left. But you know what? I maintain that there are some people who have wanted to do the show for a long time, and I think they're going to come into this with great energy. And even if they don't go to the end, they'll be a lot of fun for the time that we have them, and maybe they'll go to the end. We don't know. Who knows? Give me Danielle Fishel. I'm
So
excited for
excited.
Danielle and Pasha rather. And maybe this mirror ball's theirs. Danielle Fishel has been saying she wants to do this show forever. And it's unbelievable that it took so long. This is like the kind of person that I love this show because I love the nostalgia aspect of it. Like, this is somebody who could have been on season 13 or season 3 or season 23, and now we have them on 34. I'm so excited to see Danielle's waited a long time to do this. She has a great partner. I'm excited to see what it looks like for them.
So funny to me that, of course, Pasha is married to fellow pro Daniela, and they gave him Danielle as partner. So just enjoying that. They've been enjoying it as well as far as making content. There's not alliances in Dancing with the Stars, but you have some married couples as Val and Jenna, Pasha and Daniela, and they've talked about before that they do help each other choreograph. They'll go over similar things, like they'll go over what they've been teaching their partner, and how could you not, or why would you not? So I saw the TikTok today, I think they posted, of Danielle and Pasha and Daniela and Dylan just having fun backstage. So I feel like we're going to get a lot of content out of that group. And Danielle Fishel is just a gem. I mean, for us millennials who grew up on Boy Meets World, and she's continued being in that spotlight for Girl Meets World and just doing the podcast about Boy Meets World. She has such an energy to still be performing, to be acting, to be on our screens, and we want it, I think, just as bad. We want to see her just as bad as she wants to be on these shows. So I'm so excited, and I'm such a big Pasha boy, so I love this. I love this too.
Yeah, and I think if Danielle is like ready for the moment, she's gonna get a lot of votes. Like, there's no way she's not. I really feel like she's gonna be able to make a lot of moves, tug on a lot of heartstrings, and she feels generational with the Girl Meets World stuff as well. And I wonder if like Sabrina Carpenter fans,
Yes.
come here.
Oh, they will. They'll be dancing to some Sabrina Carpenter at some point. Danielle literally said that's what she wants to do. That's what she's hoping for, to get a song of hers at some point. So they're going to be a lot of fun. I will be heartbroken if and when they go out in like a 8th or 7th place, but I'm hoping that they're really good. Pasha doesn't historically do very well. Think back to the Carol Baskin of it all.
Sure.
He has gone home out of his 6 seasons. He's gone home first or second 4 times, including last season with Tori Spelling. So it doesn't always go well. But when it does go well, and he's got Ariana Madix as a partner, or maybe Danielle Fishel, things could be a little bit better. So this duo feels like a lot of fun, and I can't wait.
Yeah, I think it's a really fun pick. Again, just a heart pick. I love it.
Yes. All right. That was Brandon's first pick here. He's got one more.
What?
I got one more. And you know what?
Oh, yes.
Snake draft.
Why did I think it was my pick? Like, I'm back. Let's go, Brandon.
I can guarantee I'm not picking who you were going to pick.
I don't think so. Yeah.
I'm going off the board. I'm going on the board, but I'm going a different kind of pick.
I like it.
I love Andy Richter.
Oh.
I love Andy Richter's podcast. I've loved Andy Richter for so long. And Andy Richter never does a reality show. And then last year 2023, he's on Stars on Mars, which is a show that was the biggest piece of news when I got home from Survivor. It was like, oh my God, there's a show about celebrities on Mars. Andy
Yep.
Richter's there. I love that. Andy Richter does The Masked Singer. I'm like, oh, that's awesome. And now Andy Richter's here. And I just want him to win. He should win something. And it won't be this, right? It probably won't be this, but we don't know. We don't know.
We don't know.
He's somebody who, again, could have done this at any time in the 20-year history of Dancing with the Stars. I didn't ever expect to see him here, but this is so funny because I listen to his podcast, and it's like when you see your teacher at the grocery store. Like, what are you doing here? Like, you're here. So I'm thrilled to take Andy Richter off the board. And now, listeners, you won't have Andy Richter because
that's the biggest blindside. I think that they all figured. I figured that he was going to be with the audience, but Brandon said no, he's mine.
He's mine.
No, I like this. Again, I feel like we're in the let's do what we want like space.
Yes.
So this makes total sense to me. He comes off as so excited, like just sweet and exciting. So I hope like he's able to actually move, not like the Reginald spot. I think that's for someone else that the audience will for sure get. But yeah, I think this is like just a really sweet pick. I like it.
He's been having so much fun on TikTok so far. The social media, every day I see Andy Richter in a sweaty t-shirt, like dancing his butt off, and Emma's having a lot of fun with him. I mean, I feel like, not to take away from Andy Richter here, but like so much of the Emma Slater discourse that's happened all over the internet every season, but especially in this one, is why does Emma keep getting partners that aren't going to win? Oh, she's just so busy planning the tour. Shut up. That's not the case. But I feel like, again, we said this with Mike the other day, I think just brings out the best of whatever partner she gets. We're not going to just have Dancing with the Stars without a couple of people that maybe aren't going to be a lock to win. The point is to see fun celebrities get on the ballroom and see what they can do, show their personality. Andy Richter is going to show you his personality from everything that I've seen from him so far, every single week that, the votes allow him to still be there. So this is, I think, as far as I can tell, great casting. I think a great pair. Maybe Emma's not going to get the mirror ball, but she's going to have so much fun and bring out the best in him.
Million Hearts winner.
Yes.
And I love a Million Hearts winner. Not for anything, but one of my favorite seasons of the show is season 17. Amber Rylee wins. Corbin Bleu is second place. But fourth place in that season is Bill Engvall, comedian who I grew up very much enjoying, who's paired with Emma for Emma's first season. And Bill is, I would imagine, a similar age to how Andy is, maybe now or then, I'm not sure. But Bill was a good dancer. Like he wasn't Corbin Bleu or he wasn't Amber Rylee, but he was good and people loved him. America loved him. And I can see, is it a narrow path? Certainly, that Andy Richter is like a spectacular dancer that catapults to fourth place. It's a small chance, but it's a chance.
If he's a good dancer, I'm voting for him. I want to make that clear.
Exactly.
I'll do it.
I want to be blown away. You know what I mean? Like if he's marginally above where I think he is, I'll be blown away. I think that's awesome. So I commend anybody who signs up for this knowing they probably aren't going to win. I think it's a hard thing to do to sign up and then know you'll get close and maybe not win. But I think it's almost even harder to just sign up knowing that it could go really, really bad. I think it's scarier to do that, really, to not know that you're guaranteed at least a couple weeks. So I'm all in on seeing what Andy can do.
I was talking about the alliances before and all the couples, and I forgot about Emma and Allan. The first season of them being officially together, by no means married like the other couples are, but Emma formerly was, of course, married to Sasha Farber, who is not on this season, but as of last season, there were rumors that her and Allan were dating, and that was pretty much confirmed during the tour last season when I think that they shared a kiss on stage one night, and everyone was like, oh my God, it finally happened. And so very much a couple right now, and Allan we haven't gotten to just yet, but hey, if Allan and Emma can combine forces and have some fun with their respective partners, we win after all of that. So Brandon's made his two picks. Sasha, you gonna pick Allan or one of the other three couples?
Yeah, you know me. No, I'm just kidding. Yeah, I believe that the Swifties are going to carry this a little bit more than where we're estimating, or I feel personally, maybe I should take an I statement that I'm feeling like it might be. So I'm gonna actually pick Jen and Jan, because again, I'm trying to, if we're going for like, oh, who has the cast that like places high overall, like average, I think that this is gonna be like a ringer a little bit for me, because Jen is splitting the housewife vote. Not housewife. Oh my gosh, Mormon wives vote. I don't even think it's splitting. I don't know that she's getting it. But Jan and them Swifties, like that, this is the heart throb from the Eras tour, right? Like I don't even know his choreography, and I don't think it's gonna matter.
Nope.
I really, like, I was speaking with Kirsten, and Kirsten said like she also really thinks that the Swifties are gonna rise this boat, are gonna be the tide that pushes this boat forward. So I'm like I'm intrigued by that, like to see like two maybe mediocre dancers get far just because of the Swifties, and that's why like this is my like chaos pick.
I'm so excited to learn more about Jan, and of course,
Mhm.
very upset that it's not Jen and Jan. It's Jen and Jan is how you say his name. So that's disappointing. But no, I'm just kidding. But Jan, feels to me like the bigger name here.
100%.
As far as discussion goes, and I didn't know who he was beforehand. Look, I've seen the Eras Tour movie twice now, but the Jan and the Ladder didn't really cross my timeline as much. It has since, and it was very funny. Of course, he's on GMA with the rest of the cast, and everyone's yelling, "Bring the ladder! Bring the ladder!" Because if you haven't seen it, there's a moment of Jan dancing with a ladder, and it captures a lot of eyes and attention from many viewers of and fans of the Eras Tour and Taylor Swift and whatnot. And now he's here in the Dancing with the Stars ballroom. But definitely just excited to get to know more about him, know of his ballroom dance experience and just dancing experience in general. He's a new pro to the show. It's usually obviously not always the case that a new pro comes from the troupe. We talked about Ezra, who is that. Rylee is not from the troupe, but she was on Juniors and she's been around this world. Jan, I guess similar to Pasha and Daniela are the most recent examples, just jumped in, and here they are. So we're meeting him for the first time. And we already talked a little bit about Jen earlier as far as her being cast here alongside Whitney, and maybe they'll split the votes. And again, my impression from the watch I did of Secret Lives of Mormon Wives was that it felt like I was supposed to feel like she was like this underdog type of character, and I was supposed to be rooting for her. I watched it too fast to actually have much investment in these women, unfortunately, but there was a lot of chaos. She just I feel like I think she'll have a good audience on her side. I don't know if honestly her audience will be as big as his. So that, to your point, Sasha, I feel like combined they could do very well and go very far with the votes. But, we're watching two newbies here on the show. Not newbie in dance experience for Jan, but new to Dancing with the Stars, Brandon.
Yeah, when people yell "Bring the ladder" at me at these events that we go to, is that for the same reason? Are people still have seen the
Yeah,
Eras Tour?
100.
Yes, it is.
I didn't. I was confused.
You
Yeah,
should
I'm
have taken
excited.
that
I think
moment to do the same thing. Yeah.
I know you should.
I
Wait,
should
this
have.
is your
I
next.
had no idea about that until right now, which is
No, but do
interesting.
it now.
I guess it's not over.
Yes.
What a gift for Jet that she gets like the built-in Swiftie contingent. I mean, that's a dream to get on this show and then have like be blessed with that. So I'm excited to just see how that the Swifties will wrangle behind anybody. I'm excited to see the Swifties wrangle behind Donna Kelsey in a couple months. So the Swifties, they have power. On the internet they have a lot of power. So again, I know of Jen's lore from this podcast and really nothing else. So I'm excited to just get to know this person who's on this show that I really like.
Also,
yeah.
yeah,
We might say the same
another
thing.
thing yeah, I want to say is that like her and her husband like were, especially season 2 and a season 1, season 2, have been through a lot, and like a big thing for them is like his jealousy and his just like his addiction maybe to gambling. Like I don't want to diagnose whatever, but his gambling thing plus like how he maybe is not the most secure husband. I think that's most fair thing I can say without, getting into a diagnosing it. But here's the tea, y'all. Someone asked him. So he's been at a good amount of the rehearsals with their 3 kids. And they even like the producers like stopped filming Jen last season because of how hard her like depression or whatever you want to call it got while she was pregnant, because they were not even sure if they were going to be together. And then, they got pregnant here, whatever. Not judging at all. I want to make that clear. But it's interesting because he's been there, like I said, with their 3 kids, which I don't blame, because I'm like, if you're the breadwinner of the family is doing a big show, what are you going to do in Utah by yourself? You're going, you're moving to LA too. I understand. But someone like an entertainment influencer actually asked Zach, tagging him in one of Jen's rehearsal videos, and she wrote, please let us know that you're supportive of your wife and you're not freaking out. Maybe you don't answer it. Maybe, you go to the PR, person. He said, I'm not going to lie. It's for sure challenging. But this is Jen's dream, and I've never been happier. And Jan is the best guy, blah, 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 blah. Embracing the journey as a team. And they're already so good.
Remember the Joey and Jenna of it all last season, where it was like, wow, they are really dancing intimately, and Jenna's husband Val is right there, and Joey's fiance Kelsey is right there, and it was like, okay, yes, these are adults in a dance competition. This might be the case where like that you actually do have to worry about what the husband thinks.
Yeah, and I am just worried that like she doesn't quit the show because of her husband.
I know.
So that's the only thing. And maybe like it's all crazy, like he's fine with it and they're gonna make it work. But the thing is, if they do a Chippendales dance, he's gonna lose his mind.
Yeah.
Zach's out of there. Zach's leaving. He's leaving through that lot. He's gonna walk the Prices Right.
And like it's what he deserves, but like, she has chosen to be with him. So because of that, we'll see. But I just think that if people start like any rumor, I don't even rumors, like Matt said, like just like, oh, they're just like very close, which again, why would it be challenging for you if your partner is like doing well? You know what I mean? Like with someone on a Dancing with the Stars, I would be like, that's my man. And guess what? Those moves come home to me. Like you could say stuff like that, but here, bless his heart.
But also, do we know, is Jan single? I mean, how could that be?
Does Zach care?
If that's, I'm just saying, look, I saw the Coldplay, thing. It doesn't always matter, but I don't know. Also, the internet's very concerned about Jen because she just gave birth a couple of months ago. And so how could she possibly dance now? Everyone is freaking out about it.
Well, Whitney did too, so.
I don't know. That's the deal. So there they go off the board with Sasha's final pick. I didn't even realize we were in final pick territory.
I know. This is a very much like, I just want to see what happens.
Yep. And, in this vibes portion of the draft, I will certainly be going off vibes and taking who I am so excited to have here. I hope that Brandon knows who I'm picking because it seems like a worthwhile reaction. If it is, to Elaine and Allan.
Yeah.
Meredith Blake, get over here and be on my team. The way that Allan is looking at her in this photo of just like, oh my God, Meredith Blake. It's like, yes, that's exactly how we're all looking at her. Elaine Hendricks and Allan Burstyn are here to dance together. Maybe not win the mirror ball because we're at that part of the draft where, who knows what's going to happen down here. But I got to say, I love Allan in a partnership like this, where he obviously adores his partner. Again, you kind of understand the assignment of like, we're going to have some fun and make some good dances, even if we're not going to be the winners of the season. And so I just truly can't wait for them.
Yeah.
Who's the bigger Parent Trap fan of you two?
Ooh, I think it might be me. I
loved The Parent Trap. My Lindsay Lohan movie of choice was Freaky Friday, which I talked about recently. Freakier Friday.
Yeah.
Hendricks shows up. She's in it for a minute. Crazy. I did have a very big crush on Meredith Blake. It's the first crush that I remember verbalizing to people was that I loved Meredith from the Parent Trap.
Was it when the hat came up and you were like, or when she was splashing around in the ocean on the floaty?
But there was the
whatever she was
bug.
on?
Remember the bug?
Mattress?
She gets like caught with
Yes.
they put the bug. I
Yes.
think it was maybe that was interesting. But
You said that panic. I can help her. I can get that bug.
I can fix her. Me as I've only ever panicked for 20 something years of my life. I'm in a constant state of panic. But yeah, I love her. I never thought she'd be here. I never like she's never ever been on a radar for a show like this. She's never done another celebrity reality show, which is like some folks you can kind of infer maybe will end up on here at some point. Was totally off the radar. I see her in Freaky Friday 2 weeks ago, and now she's on the show, and it's great.
Do you think she'll wear that iconic outfit?
Oh, she will wear the hat day
if
one.
she doesn't
I
wear
hope.
the hat, I will cry.
Yeah.
They're gonna dance to "Everlasting Love." That's the song from Parent Trap. Is that right? It's 1,000% happening the first week. They're
Oh
doing
my
Everlasting
God.
Love.
Isn't
We need like
L
a
is for the way you look
wait,
at
will
me?
she play double? And then like, one side is like something and then one side and then
I mean,
puts the hat on. Come
the
on.
whole thing is, that Meredith wasn't the villain, so I can see some kind of storyline with one of the dances of like, you think I'm the villain here, but no. So
I haven't watched The Parent Trap recently enough to know that Meredith is not the villain. I need to watch it through the lens of Meredith not being the villain.
yeah, I mean,
In my memory,
No,
Meredith is the villain.
Her man gets taken up.
yeah, she was just living life
Yeah.
with her man, and all of a sudden these kids are running around causing havoc and
Sure.
and they're ruining her plans and her day and her life, and
Mhm.
she's the villain in all of this. She didn't ask for this.
Interesting. I gotta listen. I haven't watched it since a long time.
And then they
8,
send her
9.
floating in the middle of the freaking
I
lake.
know.
And
They
that's
put
not
on
nice.
her ass, bro.
It
in
wasn't
that
nice.
movie. It's terrible.
Allan is so much fun. Of course, he was with Alona last season, who was a fantastic partner for him. They did so many fun dances all the way to the end of the season. He comes in second place. This is his 10th season as a pro. Does kind of pretty middling placement. Sometimes he does good, sometimes he does not so good. From Hannah Brown to Jamie Lynn Spears, or Debbie Gibson. Take your pick of early boot that he's had. So we'll see how far he goes this time around. I don't think it'll be as early as those two picks go out, but we'll see. But maybe one of these other two picks will be. Who should we give the audience first? They have both, but who's like the true second to last pick? What do you guys think?
Oh,
Hilaria is a good dancer.
yeah.
I do think Hilaria may be the second to last.
Yeah.
Okay,
1,000,000%.
let me get Hilarious graphic up on the screen. Brandon, your mic switch, just FYI.
Oh no.
Crazy. They want us to end the podcast, but we shouldn't. And we're going to talk about our final two picks here that go to the audience, starting with Hilaria Baldwin and Gleb Savchenko.
How do you say cucumber? Like what? Oh my God.
The comments of every post that has to do with these two have been very lively, to say the least. Sasha.
Yeah, this to me feels like a setup for Gleb, because I think Hilaria is good, right? She has ballroom dancing experience, so it's not necessarily that she would do bad on the show. I just think like Gleb has gotten so much bad press from last season.
Yes.
And just how frustrating it was, right? It's like, stop trying to make this happen. Like, we don't care. And then are you guys watching the new Naders whatever show?
No.
Apparently
Heard
he's
about it.
on it. And
Oh, is
there's,
he
like,
on it?
Yeah, and there's like drama there. So again, but like I'm not sure. Like that's what the streets have been saying. I'm not verified.
Yeah.
So I'm just lying. I could be lying on here, me when I spread misinformation. But it's just interesting because I just think he has gotten such a bad PR that in good conscience could not pick this pick.
No, these two are going to be lucky to make it past week 1 or week 2. And that has nothing to do with how, she is a trained dancer. Like she has been dancing for, as far as I can tell, a long time. She is dancing regularly on TikTok alongside her husband, Alec Baldwin. Not that Alec is doing most of the work. It's a little bit of the Reginald Velt Johnson situation where she is just dancing around him. But hey, that's their thing. She's definitely a controversial person. She is probably not going to have a ton of fan support behind her. She does seem pretty cringy on the social media. So, in a show that's very heavy on social media, again, most of the comment sections are like, can we get you out of here as soon as possible? Let's move on. Plus, Gleb, as mentioned, wasn't really supposed to be on the season at first. That was what the rumor was, that he wasn't going to be a part of this. I guess they found a partner or a celeb that was not going to be around for very long. And they said, hey, Gleb, come in for 2 weeks and, we'll go from there. But Brandon, not the highest of hopes for them.
Not the highest of hopes. It is an interesting conundrum of like, she is a good dancer and she will perform well in this first dance. But do people, I can't remember a time where the controversial, in quotes, contestant on the season was like an actively very good dancer. I don't know how many times that's happened where you have like your Carol Baskins, for example, who are actively not great and they come and they're there for 2 weeks. I'm interested to see how this ends up going. Again, you just said it, Matt. I don't think it lasts more than 2 weeks. I think the people that the audience is getting from the draft are the 2 people that are going to be out first and second. I don't know the order in which they will go, but I would bet money that this will be it.
Yeah, and Gleb himself, while obviously controversial with the Brooks of it all, and generally always involved in something, as far as his reputation on the show goes, as far as success, it's not all there. He has never won. He's done 12 seasons so far. He's made it to the finale twice, but he's never even been a runner-up or third place. It's been fourth, I guess, is the highest, and he's gone home early 4 of those 12 times. So he's around for a good time, not always a long time. And I feel like we're probably all in agreement that that's what this season is going to be as well. But that brings us to our final couple here who are making some headlines lately because while all the other couples seem to be practicing, Sasha, Corey Feldman and Jenna Johnson, maybe not so much right now.
Yeah, apparently Jenna said she hasn't seen Corey since Good Morning America. And that, to me, why even sign up for the show? What in the Anna Delvey? Like, why?
What is, again, so
it's
interesting.
So rude.
It's so interesting for him as somebody who has like been relatively the same level of famous the entire time Dancing with the Stars has existed since 2005. Like, why now? And why now? Like, why not practice? Why not try to do it? If this, again, it counteracts what I said a couple people ago, where like the person who cast the show is picking people who want it. Like, there's no doubt that Corey Feldman's name has popped up in the last 20 years, probably every couple seasons. So it's interesting that he's here now, especially with Jenna. They gave him a great partner. He could feasibly do well. He's done a couple celebrity reality shows. He did The Masked Singer 2 years ago, last year. He has done a couple other things. He was on the UK's show Dancing on Ice and was eliminated 4th. I do know that.
Oh, 4th is crazy. Okay.
He was eliminated. He was the 4th person eliminated. He didn't get
Yeah, no, I mean, sorry. I meant like that's still
getting past 3 spots. Yeah, impressive.
Yeah.
Getting past 3 spots is pretty good. I do not know enough to talk about this, but if you YouTube search it, I believe there was like a fight between him and his partner. I don't know if that's. I think I saw that. I shouldn't be. This is unreliable journalism that I'm telling you to go.
Okay, it's giving Tony Devolani.
No, I like it. I like it.
So I don't know how this will go. But I would imagine if I had to put money down, they will not make it past the first week. I think Hilaria is giving a second week.
Her dancing score will save her.
What about the Jenna fan base? Jenna Johnson, our winner of last season, kind of stuck down here at the bottom of the pool. And, I think for the fairness of the pros, it makes sense. You kind of cycle back to the bottom. But obviously it's not very fair that she is with somebody who is not even practicing with her. I mean, none of that is to say that he's not getting back to the rehearsal studio sometime soon. He just seems to have had some other stuff going on. And so he hasn't been around this past week. But maybe Jenna's fan base could help a little bit to get him past Gleb and Hilaria. Maybe it's possible. She's got a lot of Instagram followers. She's pretty high up there.
Here's the thing. Why did she say that she hasn't seen
well, because
like, is she
the fans
have
been like asking, like, everyone else is posting TikToks, everyone else is posting stuff. You're not posting anything with your partner.
We're busy, or like there's a PR answer here.
Yeah, it's fair.
Is there not?
I do think that your Ezras and your Ryleys, while we love them and prefer the content, I much prefer the content. It enhances my viewing experience. It does set an unrealistic standard for the folks who are in a situation like this to have to put out content.
Yeah.
That being said, it sounds like Corey's just not showing up, in which case I think that sucks. But even in the event where you just Baron Davis is showing up every day, but Britt doesn't want to post TikToks. Britt shouldn't have to post TikToks. I don't think that
I
don't think that we should all be having to post. And
Yeah.
I think that it is annoying of the online fan base to be anticipating with such like, I disdain isn't the right word, but demand is the right word of where the TikToks are. Like, just, the show's not on for another week and a half, 10 days, 8 days. So that is my gripe with the TikTok of it all.
Do
I
you
hope.
Oh no,
Corey
sorry,
has
go ahead,
fun.
Brandon.
No, I hope he has fun. I don't think it'll be a long journey. But again, I'm really excited to see from him. I hope he says it at some point. Like, he's had to have been offered this before. He's had to have asked to play before. So why right now?
Do either of
We'll
you
get
like have more of his backstory? I mean, I know that I've seen, he's a child star from the 80s. He's been in a couple of movies that I've never seen because I don't see a lot of movies. He's an activist for child abuse survivors, which, seems like there's a lot more to the story there, that he's gone through drug and alcohol abuse and whatnot. So, again, I think that he's going to have a lot of story to share on the show. This whole brought it up with the Reality Flash episode, that he's whole section on his Wikipedia page about being friends with Michael Jackson. So I'm intrigued by this person who I don't know and haven't met, but I don't know. Does anyone else have anything super relevant to Corey?
I know that he's just like, I know Corey Feldman as like a pop culture figure. His buddy that he was in movies with, also named Corey Haim. They were in The Lost Boys together and a couple other films. Corey Haim passed away in 2009. And then I think that put Corey Feldman into like a deeper, not great of a place. But it's just interesting to see him like pop up again. I don't know how much work he's done in the last couple of years, but he is like I know him as the pop culture entity that is Corey Feldman. He did The Surreal Life, I believe. I think he was in the first season of that.
Oh my
with
gosh.
Jerry Manthe. So he's had an interesting life that has led up to this point. But again, I know I just said it, I'm so intrigued on what got him to the stage now. And what seems to be keeping him from the rehearsal
to getting
facility.
to the stage.
Yeah. We got to get to the stage, Corey.
So,
you gotta be at the rehearsal before you get to the stage.
Before we get to, I want to talk about the forum that we put out with some questions about what you guys, the audience in our Facebook group, think about what's going to happen this season. Let me just recap the draft real quick. So again, the audience just picked up Hilaria and Gleb and Corey and Jenna as your 2 picks. Hopefully you're still in it with us when we get to the second month of the competition, but we'll see. The top of the draft, I picked Dylan and Daniela. Then Sasha picked Whitney and Mark. Brandon got Robert and Whitney. Alix and Val. Sasha got Jordan and Ezra. Then I took Scott and Rylee. I also took Baron and Britt. Sasha has Lauren and Brandon. Then Brandon Donlon has Danielle and Pasha, Andy and Emma. Sasha has Jen and Jan. I have Elaine and Allan. And that is our draft. That is our preview. But let me also just share my screen here and let's talk about what we have from the Facebook group. Again, the link is facebook.com/groups/RHAP DWTS. Who is your winner pick? As you can hopefully see well enough here. If not, I will talk you through it. The most common answer
for the audience,
Wow.
audio listeners. Yeah.
Jordan and Ezra lead the way here on who people think are going to win. 32 responses. We had 9 come in for Jordan and Ezra.
That's wow.
Yeah.
I like
Scott
it.
and Rylee, Robert and Whitney got 5 votes. You have Whitney and Mark, Danielle and Pasha with a little bit of love. Dylan and Daniela got 4 votes. Jen and Jan and Alix and Val got a couple votes each. But yeah, Jordan and Ezra, the most popular winner pick in the Facebook group.
Interesting. I can see it.
Okay, yeah.
Listen, I don't think it's a Hundo P. No, it could happen.
A fun pairing. We have who is your runner-up pick, where Dylan and Daniela got a good chunk of the vote there.
This is very much RHAP by.
I do feel good about that though. That is they I can see a world where they're runner-up Hundo P.
Yeah. And then a little bit of love in the second place realm for Scott and Rylee, Robert and Whitney, Whitney and Mark, Jordan and Ezra. Who else is in there? Brandon and Lauren getting in there. Who's your first boot prediction? Well, this all makes sense. The winner of the vote ended up being Brandon's final pick, Andy and Emma.
Oh no.
Only by
No.
2 votes. Hilaria and Gleb have 10 votes, so that's 31%. And then in third place, you have Corey Feldman and Jenna Johnson with 9 votes. So
America loves Andy Richter, listeners. People
Yeah,
love this
that's I
guy.
agree. I think like we are underestimating like who folks know.
I think
first boot
America is
prediction
pretty
for
lukewarm on Hilaria.
Yeah,
not for
Lauren and
anything.
Brandon, that one person. Let's
Lauren and Brandon first boot prediction. Hey, if that happens to be correct, that one person, we will shout you out because
yeah,
you got it right.
100%.
That was my mom for being so confused that she picked Lauren and Brandon over the whole.
They didn't have a picture.
A lot of votes in here for different teams for who will be the biggest surprise of the season. Looks like the winner was Elaine and Allan with 7
Oh,
votes.
I like that. That's
Yeah, I like
good.
that a lot.
That's a good one.
Baron and Britt with 6 votes.
Yeah.
Dylan and Daniela, and Danielle and Pasha with 5 votes. And, some more love sprinkled around for everybody else. But Elaine and Allan, the surprise of the
I
season.
like that.
Love it.
That's a good one.
Who will be shockingly eliminated? We always have one. And this kind of funny that our winner pick also is the top pick for who will be shockingly eliminated. Jordan and Ezra, people think may go out shockingly. Scott and
No,
Rylee,
review.
Whitney and Robert, Lauren and Brandon. Almost everybody got a vote here.
I did pick them as my first pick, famously, but I can see a shock Robert and Whitney elimination. Just the Sabrina Bryan effect of we think everybody's voting for Sabrina
Yeah.
Bryan, and then we're not. You know what I mean?
Oh,
I can
not
see
the
people.
bystander effect. Don't
Yes.
do that. Brittany.
If you see something, say something, and I will be saying something for Robert Irwin.
Sasha, this one's for you. Who will Carrie Ann pick on the most all season long? We have a tie. 2 different teams got 25% of the vote each, and that would be Brandon and Lauren and Jordan and Ezra.
Yes, it will be women. It's most likely going to be a woman of color.
Yeah, it's Jordan. Sorry, Jordan, if you're listening,
Yeah.
but get ready.
Third place, Hilaria and Gleb, although they won't be around long enough. I don't
Yeah,
think,
there's
Carrie
no
Ann
way.
pick
I
on
feel
them.
like something about Hilaria. She's gonna be like, "Oh, we're like similar age." I don't know their actual ages. I'm just saying, like older women, you're killing it. Blah blah blah.
4 votes for Alix and Val. I can see it a little bit. A little bit.
I really see it for Jordan, unfortunately. I think it's Jordan with a bullet.
I didn't ask this question, the Bruno side of things, like who is Bruno going to lose his shit over when they take their shirt off first? I don't know. Is it going to be Jan, even though he's a pro, or is it going to be Dylan?
Yeah, Jan or Dylan. Well, you pick.
Yeah.
Who wants to get naked first is what matters.
Right.
Who are you excited about seeing on this cast? The leading vote was, of course, this RHAP audience we have here. 28 votes for Traders alumni Dylan Efron. Then you have 27 votes for Topanga. I know Chappelle
Fair,
voted there,
fair.
I'm sure.
Sure.
27 votes for Danielle and Pasha. You got 20 votes for Jordan and Ezra and Robert and Whitney. 0 votes down there for Corey and Jenna.
Okay.
Nobody's excited for Corey Feldman, so that's unfortunate for them. But yeah, so if you want to, pause down on the YouTube version of this and actually see the voting results, do so. Who are you not excited about seeing on this cast, which felt like an intentional, like who do you not want here? 24 votes for Hilaria and Gleb.
Wow, what's everybody's issue with Alex Earl?
I know. I
10
think folks
votes.
just don't know.
Yeah,
Yeah, that could be
she's
it.
really
Maybe-
nice.
Maybe not like so intentionally, like I don't like this
Yup.
person, but just like I'm not excited. I don't know them.
Sure.
Exactly.
Yeah, because both Jen and Whitney, our Secret Lives of Mormon Wives representatives, got a good amount of votes. 15 for Jen, 10 for Whitney. So there's that. What celebrities are you unfamiliar with going into this season? Brandon, this question's right up your alley because you said you know everyone, but
I know of everybody's name. I do. This is actually very interesting to me. Yeah, Baron Davis is somebody who, again, I knew the name. I knew they play basketball. I did not know their lore, what team they played for, if they were still playing or just recently ended their career. And the Mormon Wives, I know of the Mormon Wives, and I knew names, but not much after that. And then everybody else, I feel like I had a good grip on who they were.
Yes.
But it is an interesting, the people with 0 votes here, there's an option. I know everybody, 0 votes. Which is funny. Robert Irwin, 0 votes. Danielle Fishel, 0 votes. Dylan Efron, 1 vote. But everybody else has at least a few. Jordan Chili's also 2 votes. But everybody else seems to be pretty spread out.
Yeah. A lot of people don't know Baron Davis. That's unfortunate. Obviously myself included. So he led the way there. Alex Earl got 21 in second place, 21 votes. Again, Jen and Whitney from Secret Lives. Not everybody checking out that show, even though it is pretty popular. So they got a lot of votes. Lauren, should I have written like Lauren from Fifth Harmony and maybe more people would have known, but maybe not. 14 votes for Lauren. So there's that. Again, check out the YouTube version and pause if you want to see the full results. And then I just, some fun Dancing with the Stars, for all of us that care about the pros as well. Who are your favorite pros on the cast? Number 1 answer on the board, Whitney Carson, 25 votes.
Mm-hmm.
That's really interesting. Over Mark.
Yeah, Mark right behind her with 23 votes. But Whitney is the fan favorite here. I'm glad to see Daniela in the mix with 21 votes in third place because she might be my pick at the moment.
Yeah, Mark.
I'm very much so.
Britt right behind with 19. Down at the bottom of the list, we do have Gleb, did get a single vote, and Jan, brand new, but if you know, got 1 vote as well. So there we have it. Again, one more time, go check out the YouTube version if you want to see the full results there, but very fun to just get a interest from the audience of what everybody else is looking forward to. Get into the Facebook group, get into the comments of the YouTube video here and let us know what you think. And Sasha, what else should people be doing to interact with us before, during, after the season?
Listen, those 5-star reviews, go and subscribe to your Dancing with the Stars exclusive feed so that Rob knows that, listen, the people want it, okay? We are not just making this up. Y'all are wanting it. Y'all are clamoring for it. And give us a 5-star review. Help us out. It really does make a difference when we're pitching shows.
Yes. Be not just leaving the reviews, but obviously also subscribed. Give these YouTube videos a thumbs up, all that fun stuff. Just interact in some small way to let us know. And if you want to be involved in the discussion, have I said it enough times? Come check out the Facebook group. I'm sure we'll be using that to post our question threads each week. Any of the TikToks, any of the stuff you see out there during the week, let's talk about it all. But that, I think, is mostly going to do it for today, unless anybody else has anything else. Brandon, anything to plug? Or
I got nothing to plug, but I'm so excited. I love the show. I love the show so much. I really like talking about it. Gets me excited. It is, it is a thing that I look forward to every fall, and I'm so excited to watch along with everybody here in just a couple of days.
Oh, we have some breaking news from the Facebook group. Shout out to Maddie, who said Jenna just posted on her story that they're back in their studio, Jenna and Corey.
Oh, okay.
Love it.
So hopefully he'll be there for practice. So in case people wanted to be in the comments correcting us, we just did it ourselves.
We just got the news. There we go. All right. Well, glad to hear that. Brandon, you don't have nothing to plug, but of course, I guess it's a couple months later, but a fantastic Survivor podcast series throughout the early part of the summer. So, can't forget that. But Brandon, thank you so much for joining us. I'm sure we will talk to you again throughout the season. And Sasha, what are we plugging over there?
Yes. And of course, join me over on Mess Magnets at messmagnets.com, wherever you listen to your podcast, or if you want to watch us, mess.magnets on YouTube, where Kirsten McKennis and I are talking everything gossip related. Listen, if you want to know more about Jan, check that out. We've talked about it. If you want to know what's trending, but you don't want to do the research yourself, come listen to us and let's talk about it. So check that out. And what about you, Matt?
I am talking The Challenge and Big Brother, The Challenge on the Free Agents podcast with Brian Scally every single week, old seasons of The Challenge and new, and maybe even some Amazing Race this fall. So check us out there, and on the Diary Room podcast with Amon Adwin, where we are matching up every Big Brother player in history until we find the best one. So we talk about 6 players an episode. It's a very fun time. We are getting close to the end of the first round, but it's a long process, and it'll be a minute before we fully get there. So check us out there. But again, subscribe to the Dancing with the Stars podcast feed. We know dancingwiththestars.com will take you exactly where you need to be for all of that. Join us in the Facebook group, and just be as vocal as you can about hopefully you enjoy this coverage and you want to see it all season and for seasons beyond. So I think that's going to do it for now. Of course, check out everything else on RHAP, including all of the Big Brother coverage if you're not too salty, which we all are, but you know, that's what's going on right now. Survivor season is upcoming. And am I forgetting anything? Any major shows? You know, everything else on the network right now for any show you're looking for, any reality show, we're probably talking about it. So I think that'll do it. We'll be back next week with the premiere of Dancing with the Stars season 34 live right here on this channel after the episode around 10:15 p.m. Eastern time with a great guest. We have a lot of great guests lined up for the season, so that'll be fun and exciting. But that's it for today. So thank you, Brandon, again for joining us. And
Thank
me and
you.
Sasha will be back next week. Until then, we'll see you guys later. Bye.
Bye.
This is RHAP. We know reality TV.